Today's story is a real treat. Louis and his wife are having a blow over something trivial, and Jimmy storms out. "You don't deserve to be with me and my kid." She screams, "Will I marry you?" They storm into the room. Jimmy packs up, ready to escape the cell. Louis tries to talk her down, but in the heat of the moment, Jimmy suddenly exclaims, "I'm not your business." She pretended to be pregnant and marry Louis just to keep herself from wandering around, and after venting her feelings, Jimmy got herself together. Jimmy locks herself in the bathroom for her own safety, while Louis outside is fuming, banging on the door a perfect. Suddenly, the outside goes quiet. Jimmy cautiously opens the bathroom door and is met with a shocking scene. Thank goodness the door stayed locked. To escape for her life, she jumps out the window and runs right into the cops coming in when they burst into the room. They find Louis is dead. Jimmy bursts into tears on hearing her husband so to know what's going on. Meanwhile, the criminal is desperately fleeing, climbing over a ditch, only to spot a light ahead and deciding that's the place to. Little did they know, they've ended up back at the motel. A familiar sight leaves the criminal bewildered. Meanwhile, Ed has already spotted her. Before she could even make an escape attempt, the police ambushed her from behind, and in just a moment, the criminal was apprehended. Ed tells the owner to stay and guard the criminal, while the others head out to deal with the body. Seeing everyone leave, the owner tries to lock the fridge door. The caption shows, "The criminal senses that there is a hidden secret in the fridge, while Ed, on the other side, is taking photos as evidence in the room." She finds the key tag for room 9 on Louis, which proves that the starlet and Louis were not killed by the criminal. Suddenly, Ed finds his boss, meant to guard the criminal, outside, and police rush into the warehouse. Witnessing a horrifying scene, the criminal stabbed with a bat. Cops blame the owner, find key tag 8 by the body. Only the motel owner would have spare keys for the rooms. In a panic to prove innocence, the owner accidentally drops a toolbox on the ground. Ed immediately recognized the starlet's wallet. The boss explained it was stolen post-mortem by then. No defense worked. In a moment of desperation, she takes Anna as a hostage. The corpse right in front of them is proof enough that the owner is the real murderer. In a blink, the owner bolts, deciding to get out of Dodge, but who would have thought? Subtitles. This act triggers yet another homicide case. George meets his maker on the spot. To stop the owner from fleeing again, Ed and police tie her up. She says the body in the fridge isn't hers, she's not the motel owner. She claims to be a desperate druggie who came to the motel for some fuel, only to find the owner dead in the office. Just then, a guest arrived, and she collected the fee herself. To avoid detection, she hid the body in the fridge. As more guests check in, she gradually takes over as the new owner, yet the cops aren't buying her story. They insist she's the killer. But Anna feels things aren't quite so simple. She recalls that magazine which showed this area used to be a dumping ground. 100 years ago, the Native Americans were forced to relocate, and many died here. She suspects the spirits of the dead are seeking revenge, but the cops are having none of that ghost talk. Once everyone calms down, Jimmy mentions a movie about 10 people stranded on an island. Every now and then someone dies, eerily similar to their plight, and those on the island share common traits. Perhaps there's something shared among them too. From their chatter, it turns out Anna and the owner are from the same hometown. Anna said she quit being a sex worker, plans to return home to grow orange trees. As she finishes, cops hear a key drop inside the room. Alice lies dead, and the police spot a key under the bed, marked with room 6. Ed picks up the key, puzzled. Alice died in a car accident, so why was there a key tag next to her? Following the death order, room 7 should be George's. They quickly check his body and find the room 7 tag in his pocket. So it seems the killer isn't the owner. Faced with these numbered deaths, fear grips everyone. Ed orders Jimmy to take the kids and leave the motel fast, but then boom, the car explodes. They rush to check, but after extinguishing the flames, find no bodies. The atmosphere turns eerie. All bodies are gone, and the wall's blood has vanished. Anna breaks down. Next week's her birthday. This immediately grabs Ed's attention. Their birthdays are all next week. The owner quickly checks the guest logs and discovers everyone's birthday is on May 10th. At that moment, lightning strikes the motel, completely frying the power system. Everyone rushes outside to check the wiring. Meanwhile, Ed stands frozen, staring blankly at registration info. Her head begins to pound, feeling as if someone's talking to her. In a daze, Ed snaps back to reality, surrounded by not just the doctors, but also a judge and jury. Ed realizes everything happening in the motel is her subconscious. The doctor hands her a photo, but Ed doesn't recognize the man. McKen has multiple personality disorder and killed 6 innocents on his birthday. Ed inquires, confused, why he's telling her this, but the doctor doesn't elaborate and just hands her a mirror. Suddenly, the mirror reflects McKen's face and Ed gasps in shock. "What did you do?" "You tried to get close to my face." "Why would I get close?" "It's your face, please." The scene leaves many people baffled, and yep, I'm one of them. Here's the deal. McKen had a tragic childhood, with a mum who was not only a sex worker but also a thief. Little McKen faced abuse and was abandoned by his mum in a motel. Those experiences eventually led him to develop multiple personalities.